Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's right, another Wrestling Bros podcast, Rumble edition. Day of pre-show. Told you we're bringing you that content. We're going live. We're still working out the kinks. Is it best to make pre-recorded videos? Is it best to go live? We don't know. You let us know in the comments below. What do you prefer? Come on in. We're going to do some talking before we get up to get down. I'm going to kick it over to my boy D-Bake. Let him give you a little introduction. What's up, D?
Yeah, I am the man of 1,000 words. I know a lot about wrestling, so I'm going to kick it with the details while my guy Mo kicks it with the hosting and the facts. We got, of course, down below, we got our buddy Chris right there. He's going to join us for the ride. But today we got the 2024 Royal Rumble predictions. We're doing a pre-show. We got the pay-per-view / premium live event. I have to get used to that.
Yeah.
Which is live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Central time for you guys in this Central time zone. We got 4 matches that we're going to break down. We're going to basically cover the first 3 matches and then the Royal Rumble matches for the men and women. We're going to break down some surprise entries, some betting odds for them, and some rumors that are going around for tonight's Royal Rumble matches. But let's kick it down to you, Chris. What's going on, Chris?
You know, Hogan says he's got one left in him. Y'all saw that? Hogan said, I might have one left in me. Hulk Hogan at 193 years old says he's got one more left in him. What do you guys think? You think he shows up tonight? I'm serious.
He's showing up.
He'll be really?
He's going to show up. It's just a matter of his knees show up with him.
And if we could just for a second not go into a football. Listen, WWE Hardcore, you guys know way more about the AEW stuff than I do, but I'm trying to catch up. ROH, I go to the shows with Alex all the time. I used to, but a lot of those guys are now WWE guys or AEW guys. I don't even know who this young crop is. Like I said earlier, you're like, so and so might be a surprise entry, and I'm like, who the fuck is this chick? You know what I mean? But I'll catch up on it. I'll get there, but don't call me a casual. You can call me a casual with the other sport, not this one. Not sports entertainment. No, sir. Okay. Now I have one question for you two. I haven't been able to ask you yet. And I've been meaning to ask you. What happens with the American Nightmare storyline now that CM Punk has had to switch over from Seth and The Rock is talking about he wants to be the head of the table? What's going to happen to Cody? What's going to happen to Cody? I'm angry, but at the same time, you don't have to have a belt involved just for The Rock and Roman to get down, right?
Touche.
Yeah.
What you think, D?
There's a lot that could go into it. And then, of course, you got the Seth Rollins injury that further develops this into more of a conundrum.
Is it a work or is it a real injury?
It's a real injury. He's been known to injure. Luckily, this is his left knee now. The last time he got hurt, it was the right knee.
But the question is how bad is it really hurt? You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the question is it like
he's worked through it. Yeah, he's worked through it before when he did Triple H at Mania, where that's why they did a bunch of promos. He didn't wrestle at all, so that by the time he got to Mania, he was 80%. So it depends on that, but it's like, is he going to be able to do it again? And
I just saw that
condition will he be in by then?
I just saw, I thought, wow, okay. Look, first of all, I'm kind of a mark. I never liked that. What was he? Stardust. I never liked him when he was that. I never was a big Cody guy till he became the American Nightmare. Now I love him, and his mic work is phenomenal. I love his mic work.
I'll tell you this. I'm going to have to put a pause on your not being a Cody fan before, because talk to me a little bit. I know Cage, aka D, knows a little bit about the whoa, you're only smoking mirrors. A little dashing Cody Rhodes, dog.
Okay, well, no. I liked it when he first came in and went heel with the face mask and everything. Yeah, that was after
you see that storyline there with the face mask, because he only wore it because he was selling with Rey Mysterio at Mania.
But remember,
then he put it on to sell it.
Right, but they put that psychological angle in there where he would look in the mirror and thought he was disfigured and horrible. Yeah,
so ugly.
That's when I knew. That's when I knew the kid was going to be.
Yeah.
That's when I knew the kid was going to be great. And plus, look who his daddy is. Okay, but then they started doing that Stardust shit. I'm like, what is this, man? And I watched the documentary. He hated that phase, but now when he comes out, I'll message him all the time and be like, you see him give that little kid the belt? How cool is that, man? You know, every time he comes out, he gives the little kid the workout belt and everything.
He's a true baby.
Yeah, the way Brett used to give the sunglasses, it reminds me of Brett with the sunglasses, bro. It's the same energy.
And he specializes just the one that he wears. Like, he gives out a lot to the WWE stores and whatnot, but then the one that he wears has a little bit of custom to it.
So guys, now you got two of the best mic workers of all time. You got CM and you got Cody talking mad shit for 11 minutes last night. It was 11 minutes long. Okay, I timed it. I watched it twice. But it's a juxtaposition. They literally just took CM Punk and said, listen, Seth is fucked up. We're going to put you over here. And now you got, so what does that do for the storyline? I'm just wondering.
This is what I think. I think that they were testing the waters. I think that they were like, so Seth's hurt. Some major shit went down. What can we do? And then, so they took Cody and they took Punk and they sent them both out there to see how they would, one, they knew that they would do good, but to see how the crowd would react. And I think the crowd reacted big time. I see a lot of like major people that follow wrestling, like other wrestlers, stuff like that, talking about possibly the best promo segment like ever. Like, I don't know if it feels ever, but it was damn good, and it was like it's WrestleMania worthy.
Mo, if you listen to the crowd, I'm an older guy, okay? So let me tell you something. When I heard that crowd last night, it felt like Hogan Warrior all over again.
Yes, exactly.
The crowd was completely
1990.
The crowd was completely split down the middle and did not know. And look, they are now at this point. What made that great is by the end of that match at WrestleMania, you were forced to choose. They are forcing you to choose. At one point, you're gonna have to choose somebody. You know what I mean? Or you could just be, oh, well, I'm happy. Look, I need Cody.
I get it. Hogan is a piece of shit now, but Hogan was always way better than Warrior.
Yeah, back then, and people knew, and eventually they picked, but the younger crowd, look, when I was a kid, the Ultimate Warrior had so much energy, man, and that's kind of what CM Punk brings, but Cody's got just as much energy, you know what I mean? And wrestling's different now. Plus we got to finish the story. We got to finish the story, right?
Yeah, the story that's going to end in 2035.
No shit, bro, I'm going to be dead before.
So that was a nice little. That was a nice little opening segment. So that was if you like that kind of stuff, make sure you like, share, subscribe. And that was I totally was about to fucking say something. I totally was about to say something. I totally fucking forgot. Cage,
but we did. But if you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, we got it in the comment section. It's on the pinned post. Just click the link. Subscribe to the channel. We're always trying to put out new content. We're definitely going to be going live before and after the pay-per-view tonight. Of course.
This is a baby fresh channel, people. Baby fresh, but the people on this panel are not baby fresh. We've been watching this shit since we were kids.
We're putting out a lot of guys above me, guys breaking up.
And the two guys above me are schooled. I'm telling you, they are educated in this shit. They know what the fuck they're talking about. And I will turn my camera on soon, I promise. We'll keep it professional around here. Just let me get a little bit higher.
Yeah, but we're going to save a little bit more of that talk about the men's rumble because there's so much to talk about with it. Yeah, that's the main event. We're going to get into it first, but first we're going to break down the first match. We're going to go all the way down to the main event. The first thing is the women's Royal Rumble match. Of course, the Royal Rumble pay-per-view is unlike anything other. There's usually only 2-3 matches and then both Rumbles. So we're not going to have a lot to break down, but with each Rumble match, I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about with rumors, surprise entries, who we think we're going to win. I got the betting odds for each Rumble pulled up that I can bring out. So we're going to spend a little bit more time on those compared to the two matches sandwiched in between the Rumble matches. But first, we got the Women's Rumble right now. Of course, these are the women that are announced so far. One thing I have to say is I like the concept that they're going back to where instead of announcing every person in the Rumble, they only announced 4 women. And on the men's side, they've announced 11. So it gives them more options to get you thinking of surprise entries. Who are they going to let in the Rumble? Everything else. Because once you throw everybody to the notion of they're in the Rumble already, that takes away a little bit of the allure of the Rumble itself, where you want to see surprise entries and you want to see it like come
That's
up in your
always the
head.
best part. That's always the
Yeah,
best part.
so
I
they're
mean,
going back
I
old school
told
with that.
Mo. Yeah, I told Mo I didn't. I'm not meaning to interrupt you. I don't want to lose my
No,
point.
you're good.
I'm on gummies. You know what I'm saying? I'm high. I told Mo, like, look, man, the WrestleMania is the big one for everybody, but Royal Rumble is my favorite of the year. Like, that's my favorite pay-per-view of the year, always, because of the surprises and you never know who's going to come back. Like, and it's just that I don't know, but Royal Rumble's always a different energy, guys. It's always a different kind of energy.
You got Mania's the big one. You got SummerSlam, which is like the number 2, but the Royal Rumble, it's like the cult classic. It's the one that wasn't supposed to be that big, but it's everybody's favorite. All the casuals are going to tune in just because they want to see what happens.
Quick, guys, quick, ready? Trivia, pop quiz, bam. Who won the very first ever Royal Rumble? That wasn't even a pay-per-view. It was on USA Network.
Oh,
Yeah. I remember watching that as a kid, bro, the first time. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yo, we'll take a little pause in the calls because we got 4 people watching. That's right. We're a brand new spanking channel. I see you out there, all 4 of you out there watching right now. Just want to thank you for taking the time to rock with us on this baby new channel when there's so many other channels that you can rock with, but you're rocking with the bros. So I appreciate you. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the little notification thingy, majigger bobber thing. And yeah, I just wanted to pause in the calls because I saw that. Go ahead.
But we got the women's match. They got only a few women listed here. We got Becky, we got Bayley, we got Bianca, and we got Nia Jax. I'll let you start out with this, Mo, because I want to get your opinions on who you think is going to win, and then like if you think that there's going to be anybody that you don't expect to be in it that does well in the Rumble.
All right, so sit back for a second. I'm going to put this that I'm partaking in out a little bit so I can lock in. All right, so Women's Royal Rumble 2024 version. We'll start with my opinion. Any crazy special people that you don't see coming, making a surprise entrance. I think the obvious is Jade. I think Jade will make an appearance.
I agree.
I think with people, with how she was promoted so much in the beginning to where now she's kind of went ghost. They're not saying anything about her. I think that's a big sign. On top of when is better to debut than the Royal Rumble.
Is she still using her name, Mo? Is she using Cargill or is she going back? Okay.
Yeah. As far as we know, yes. Yeah.
I wish she would have that theme music. That theme music she had was a banger, son. But we got Big D. He put out a short earlier, so go check that out. A rumor of Jordan Grace coming in. She's big jacked up. If you don't know her, TNA, I mean, she is stacked, son. She has more muscle than all 3 of us men on panel right now. She's jacked. I think, I trust D on that one, so I think possibly her. AJ Lee, there's a good chance AJ Lee will come back. Outside of that, I don't see them bringing any old timers back. I don't really see Trish and Lita really coming this year. I think they're going to prop up more NXT stars, bring them in, give them shine. But we'll jump to my final 4. Here's what I see my final 4 being. I see my final 4 being Bayley. I see my final 4 being Becky Lynch. I see my final 4 being Nia Jax. Then I see my 4th being Bianca Belair. I see her being the Iron Woman, probably coming in single digits, 7, 8, something like that, going until she gets to the final 4. I don't really know how it gets there, but of course, I think it's going to be Bayley and Bianca in the final 2 because I think Becky and Nia are going to fight at WrestleMania. So somehow they're going to cancel each other out, do something to where one eliminates one, maybe like a Hogan Sid. Hey, Chris, I know remember about that. You remember where Hogan acted like he was going to shake his hand and then pull Sid out? Maybe something like that. I don't know. Something to set them 2 up.
A swerve. I can definitely see some sort of swerve for sure.
And then Bayley taking out Becky, winner of the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble. Bayley, let's go. What you think about that?
I agree. I think that Bailey's going to win the Royal Rumble. Like I thought it for a while. They're propping her up. She's coming off that injury. I think it's going to be her. But I also think that I don't know, man. I think the final two is going to be Bailey and Nia.
Okay. Talk to me. I mean, how do you get there?
Well, they got Nia set up as this. They're starting to push her again as this like unbeatable force in wrestling right now. And Bailey, they're trying to make her. She's coming off that heel run, you know.
I got it.
So
I got it. My book in mind just because not one single girl's going to be able to throw Nia out by herself unless you're Jade Cargill. That could be how she's made, but it's going to be
and then sets up a rivalry. Yeah,
and it could
right.
also be final three: Nia, Becky, Bailey and Becky team up again and everybody's like, oh my gosh, because they're the four horsewomen. Oh my gosh, they're back together.
I can see that.
They take out Nia, and then Bailey, boom, dumps out little 100-pound Becky Lynch. Hey, shout out to Justin. JT is what I like to call him. I don't know him, but I do know.
That's my guy, Justin. He's very well knowledged in wrestling. He's the guy. He's great in the chat. Thanks for tuning in, man. Always pleasure having you live on panel or in the chat. Of course, shout out to him.
Hey, D, you know
this
what
one
I
is.
also forgot? I totally forgot to say what's up to the people on Twitch and Twitter.
Yeah, can't forget them. We're live on Twitch and Twitter right now. I know with how Twitter is, you can't comment, but thank you guys if you're tuning in on that platform. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in on my Twitch channel. We're going to get that back and running. This is the first stream on there. So whoever's on there just randomly coming in, thank you for tuning in. I'm liking this Rumble. Like, they're really making it seem like Bailey's going to be the one to win. And if she doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised because they can easily bank it to have Becky Lynch to win, and then you have the plugged-in storyline with Bailey and Damage Control. What did they do last night on SmackDown? The Kabuki Warriors get the win. They get the tag team titles. If you look closely, once again, when she goes to high-five them and shake their hand, they basically ignore Bailey. She's the only one that gets ignored. They make fun of her. They kind of make it seem like she's not part of the group, but then she's there. A couple weeks ago when you had Bailey go up against Bianca, they didn't even help her. They just stood there and watched, and she goes, why didn't you help her? And they go, we thought you had it covered. You're Bailey. So, eventually they're going to turn on her. And do they pull it in the Rumble where she wins it? Or do they have her get thrown out by her own people? And that's how you get the breakup. And then you do her versus Io Sky at Mania, where it's like a 4-week build-up after the Rumble. I think she still wins because I don't think you need to have Becky win. Those are the only two people that should win it. Nia Jax is in it. I like how they built her to be her nickname, the Unstoppable Force, where they made her look strong.
I love Nia right now. Love her.
The win, having to beat Becky Lynch is key there because of the fact that you need her to have a credible victory, and she got that, and it was clean. There was nothing about the victory. It was clean. So you build it up big for the Rumble, and I think the main thing is possibly Jade Cargill, because you can have Jade Cargill come in and eliminate Nia Jax, and that's a big thing. Debut there, even if that's all she does is eliminate Nia Jax. That's a big thing.
It sets up a feud.
It sets up a whole feud there.
Yeah,
I think Nia Jax is going to look good in the Rumble, though. Maybe she comes in midway through, throws 4 or 5 people out, but then gets eliminated either in the final 4 or right before it.
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
No, you're good. I got Bailey, Becky. I'm going to go with Bianca, and then. Right now, I'm going to say Nia Jax, but I think it could be Jade. Just for the fact that Jade could be the one to throw her out. Like, say Jade's one of the last people in the Rumble. I'm going to go with Bailey right now because I like that. Because I think it's going to be Bailey versus Io and then Becky versus Rhea Ripley at Mania. Those are your matches right there. Bianca, I feel like she's doing a lot of promotion and a lot of work with her show at Montez Ford, the reality show. And she could find a different route into the Rumble. So I think you got that there. So I'm going to go with Bailey. I think the Iron Woman could be either Bianca or maybe this is tough. Maybe somebody that they want to showcase, like maybe a Zoe Stark. Maybe she could have like an Iron Woman performance where she goes through, has a good performance, lasts a long time, but then gets thrown out before the final four somehow. Because I feel like she's like a Triple H hire. She's a Triple H woman. But it's like, it's more like start after than the men's. There's a lot going on in the men, but the women's, it's Becky and it's Bayley. That's why they've only announced 4 women, because I feel like they're kind of pre-conditioning you to think that those are going to be the final 4 left.
Let me ask you this, D. Do you think there's going to be a lot of return like old timers, or do you think it's going to be more NXT like I think? Hey, before go out, like I was going to read Justin's comment. And
yeah, shout out to Circle of Debate, my boy Ivan. What's going on, fans?
Nice.
Happy Rumble Day. Thank you for tuning in. Check out his stream last night. They did a 4.5-hour stream. They basically talked AEW, WWE, threw in New Japan. They did a Royal Rumble predictions. Check out the channel. Give them a subscribe to the YouTube channel at Circle of Debate. You got the Debate Network. Love them. They're fam to me. So you got to check them out.
I was tuning in last night. Like I had them playing while I was playing a little Call of Duty. So they're definitely people say a sister company, Here we're bros, so they're definitely a brother channel of ours, and we're definitely going to be doing more work. D is way more into and better at going on other channels and doing all that stuff than I am. I'm not very good at that, but D is very good at that. So shout out to D for the networking and all that stuff. Shout out to the boys at Circle of Debate, and shout out to Justin 211 for this. Let's see here. Still keep thinking this feeling Becky gets her second Rumble by eliminating Nia. Bayley has her story of damage control, eventually dumping her that she can get her to Mania. Yep. I mean, that does, and that is a nice little swerve how they could do. There's already a path laid out. You could see last night on SmackDown when they were celebrating, Bayley was off to the side, and they were celebrating together. They are slowly doing things that what's the smallest one's name? Kairi Sane, right?
Yeah, the pirate.
Yeah, the pirate. You could tell like she checks her a lot. Like she went to go last night. They went to go walk down and Bayley was right behind him, and Kairi Sane, like she grabbed her and like didn't let her go. So they're setting it up beautiful. It's definitely going to be a turn. It's just, does she win the Rumble and then call her out, or does she, organically?
That's why I think it could be. That's why I think part of me feels like it could be Becky, because you can easily do a storyline after the Royal Rumble for Bayley. It's plugged in, ready to go. Everybody knows eventually it's going to happen. Just a matter of how they are going to do it. Whereas Becky, they've been slow building it all year. So it's like 2 different storylines that you could pick. You could flip a coin and have right before the Rumble and pick who you're going to have. And then the other one, you have a storyline already built after. So it's like they did their homework with those, and they have them well done. It's like, I feel like it's not even going to be a shock either woman winning it. It's just, who do they want to give it? That's why I think Bayley kind of needs that moment, because Becky already had it. So that's why I'm going with her. Like, she has never had that one-on-one match at Mania. The one time she was champion, she came in the Mania was the COVID year, and she defended it in that Fatal 5-Way.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And won it. So it was kind of took away, kind of like the Drew thing, where it kind of took away from her moment, having no fans there. So I think that would be the better story there, because everybody knows Becky. She's big time Bex, the man. Everybody would expect her to win, but what a way to kind of swerve people just a little bit by having Bayley win it, especially if you're a casual.
What do you guys think? Should I go douchebag sunglasses in the house at night?
Hold on, brother. Let me take that graphic down so we can see your beautiful face.
Yeah,
and I am pretty.
There we go.
And I'm representing Star Wars, baby. Look, should I go douchebag Chris, heel Chris, or should I just go, regular Chris?
Well, they're all the same, so
Fuck you.
And the more you guys tune in, the more you'll know that we are bros around here. We like to pick on each other. I pick on D. Chris picks on D. D
I
picks
feel
on us.
personally targeted. I get bullied quite a bit by Mo.
Yeah,
just
but
so you
Chris
guys
and
know.
D have a special kind of love. So, okay, like let me throw this question out to you guys. Jade win? Question mark. How mad would the IWC be if they just threw her in her first Rumble, threw her in probably number 30 or something, have her win? How mad would they be, or would people be like, "This is a good idea"? Because that's
they
what
would
the
go
battle.
crazy.
I think both.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think both.
Yeah.
I think people are gonna mark out. I would mark out. I love Jade.
It would be the way to throw her to the fire right away.
And people are gonna be mad, you know. I mean, I can see it going both ways, but I see more people being mad than happy about it. She ain't earned that. What you doing with that
because
already?
The WWE way is like progress them little by little. You want to get the story going, but just having her win right away, you're kind of taking away from the story.
Who they do that to a long time ago? Her first match, she wins the women's belt. Who was that? The Asian girl.
No. They had Paige win.
Yeah. No. Before that, even the
Bull
Asian
Nakano.
Girl, the Asian girl that went to Impact, the real pretty Asian girl. What was her name?
They talk about Gail Kim.
Gail Kim. Her first night in the company, she wins the fucking belt, and people were like,
they did
"What?"
They did the same thing with Paige, where she got caught up from NXT. She was the NXT champion. She goes and takes it from AJ Lee and wins it. And then they had a feud for a few months before they did that dumb Mania match where they had them tag team against the Bellas.
So let me run this by you. Is it almost best to just not put Jade in the Rumble? Because do you start her out with her coming out? Because you can't have a crazy entrance at number 12 or something. You know what I mean? So do you want her that people's first impression to be like at Mania or Elimination Chamber where she can get a win and look big? Or is it have her come into the Rumble and be eliminated because she can't win? So,
it's a win-win because you can have her come in and get that shock factor because we haven't seen her in a while. She comes in there, throws somebody out very important, and then she gets thrown out. She's not losing because it's the Rumble. So it's like
the Rumble. Yeah.
You get that Royal Rumble moment. She gets thrown out. People aren't going to care that she got thrown out, and then she can come in and start her program of being built up.
She's going to look.
Is she going to be? Yeah. Do you think she's going to be over right away, guys? Like the minute she comes out, she'll be over.
I think so.
It depends. It depends on who's watching it, because they're gonna be like, "Who's this?" If they're casual, but if you know who she is, they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's about time you show her on screen." Like,
well, they've been pumping her up for months, man.
She's such a specimen. I think that people are gonna be, even if they don't know her, and I bet they're gonna have a banger entrance for her. Like, I bet they're gonna have
just like Justin said, without the IWC has been begging for Jade to get in the ring instead of making sure she's ready. Wouldn't expect much backlash if she won.
They're not milking this because she's injured or anything like that, right? She's healthy, yeah.
Yeah, she's healthy. It's just that when you go from a company from AEW, WWE, they want to have them train. They want to get them to get used to the hard cam and everything. So she's been down at the Performance Center working on the craft. They wanted to do a little bit of like a tease, like they had her on NXT pop up here and there, and then they just pulled her for a couple months because they want you to forget about her so that when they bring her up,
it's a surprise.
You're shocked, yeah.
Because Cody was like the worst kept secret ever, but even when he came out, we still marked out. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm hoping they do the same thing with Jade. I really like her, man.
Well, I will say one last time, her entrance song in AEW was a banger.
And before we move on, we got the betting odds. I just want to specify Bayley is the favorite. She's minus 110. Becky's plus 400. Jade is plus 600. Sasha Banks is plus 1,000. Bianca's plus 1,100. Liv is plus 1,100. Nia Jax is plus 2,000. And Asuka is plus 2,500. Those are the
you did the top 10. You guys did a top 10. I always forget her name, man. I don't know why, because I know her really well. But the girl that she glows in the dark,
Naomi.
Naomi. I
Yeah.
always forget her because I always want to call her Trinity, but she's not Trin, right? She's Naomi in WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we could see her come back as Trinity. You never know.
Hey, boys, so am I just stupid here? Like, so Cage, what did you say Nia Jax's betting odds were? Plus 2,000?
Plus 2,000. Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
she's definitely one of the favorites. You think that would be? She's one of the women
yes.
that have been
When
pushing.
people think she's going to have a good showing, and then she gets eliminated.
Can you live bet? Can you live bet during the Rumble?
I don't think they.
I don't think
Wouldn't
so.
that be the shit
Yeah.
if you could just bet that Nia's going to make it to the Final Four? Cash it,
Yeah.
baby, cash it.
Because I don't think it has anything to do with her winning. I mean, having a good showing. I just think it's her winning.
I think the three bets,
storyline.
the three bets in the women's Rumble to make would be Bayley, Becky, and Nia. Would be my third. That I would be like, yeah, I could see her winning because she has a built-in thing with Rhea. Remember, like she had a little one-off with Rhea, so they're kind of building her. Do I think she wins? No, but for plus 2,000, I bet I've made a lot more worse bets than that in my life.
Yeah, you throw like
Exactly.
throw like $2 or $3 on it just to see what happens. If it
Yeah,
pans out, if it
Why
pans
not?
out,
$2 is a $40 hit
That's
if
what I'm
you bet
saying.
$2 on it.
That's
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
last question before we move on to the Undisputed Championship match.
well, fucking rush us, man.
I'm gonna
What's
rush
the
you.
matter with
That's-
you?
Hey man,
Like,
that is the man of 1,000 words.
the
Chris.
man of
What's
1,000
matter?
words. Okay, give me
Yeah,
3 words
respect-
right now. 3 of them. 3 of them. Go.
Respect me.
Well, I like that. But that's only 2 words. I said 3 words.
Oh,
I
that
love
was-
you.
It was
There you
3
go.
syllables.
Nice.
He hit you with 3 syllables. The man of 1,000 syllables.
But do you think Mercedes, aka Sasha Banks, shows up?
I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know. Look,
I think she's AEW bound.
we can't I don't really want to talk about that other shit, but she was one of the girls that said, hey man, shit's messed up over there, and I don't think I'm going back. And that was just recently, so they may not be ready to bring her back to the WWE yet. And now, especially with all this new shit going on, I don't know, man, because she was one of the
Well,
first.
they were going to sign her, and then she asked for too much money. She said she wanted the same amount of money as Charlotte, and they said, "No, darling, you don't get that much." So then,
But then again,
she
Naomi
went
came
on the
back.
market. But
You
she
know-
ain't. But Naomi ain't getting Charlotte money. You know what I mean?
Nobody's getting Charlotte money. Maybe
Yeah,
Becky.
Charlotte is.
You know,
And I don't think this is a hot take. Hot take. If we had 100 people watching this, 75 of them would be pissed at me for saying this. But Charlotte Flair is not the GOAT of women's wrestling. She is.
no, she's royalty, but she's not the GOAT. No,
Yeah,
she's not the GOAT.
Because if you hear people talk about her on those Busted Open stuff like that, they're like, she's the GOAT, she's this. No, she ain't. Don't get crazy. Like they talk about like she's like better than a lot of good men wrestlers. No, she's not. Calm down, pump your brakes. She's a good wrestler, but she ain't the best women's wrestler, let alone the best better than men, in my opinion. I don't know where everybody fucking went. Huh? We got the man of 1,000 syllables. Just
I don't know where he went. He said, I don't know where everybody went.
His
Boy,
boy
it scared me, man.
took him
What's
over.
up?
What happened?
Who
I
is
said
the
you scared
GOAT,
me.
though? Because I got a hot take. You guys know who I think the GOAT is, but I haven't
JT.
said it on
I
here.
knew I had a connection with you today, JT. I knew I did. I felt it when I saw you pop up in the chat, brother. She's just not. Like, she's stiff. She has a touch of the John Cena is what she has. She makes her calls are way too loud in the ring. Quit. You know what I mean? Quit with all that. No,
She telegraphs like you wouldn't
no.
believe.
To me, wrestling wise, Sasha's way better wrestler. Like,
I think it's with how they book her, and because they know the name. It's Ric Flair's daughter.
Totally the name.
She could go in the ring. Sometimes it's too much, but maybe it might be a good thing that she's away for 8 months injured, because we don't have to think about it. Kind of like she was away for like 6 months before, and then she came back, and then her and Rhea Ripley had a great Mania match. The bill was so, but that match was fire. That match was great. That's what we need. We need her to go away for a little bit, come back so we can want her back.
Yeah. Just a couple things take me out of it. The main thing that takes me out of her thing is, one, just her stiffness and her calling the spots, but that stupid moonsault twist thing she does outside of the ring that she doesn't touch anybody, and 22 people fall when she does it. And then she gets up and goes, ah, like she's the running back on Varsity Blues when he finally gets a touchdown. He's like, Mox. Of course he's gonna call it not for me, and he's like, no, I got you, brother, I got you, and he scores, and he goes, ah. That's Charlotte when she does that stupid moonsault, and I hate it. So that's all I gotta say about that. But
I don't think Mercedes shows up. I had a feeling she might, because there was like just these little drops of hints that she could, and then I feel like Naomi's gonna show up, and her and Bayley fit the storyline to have her come back, them three, and then Damage Control. I just feel like with her self-worth, with everything going on in the company, especially with the whole Vince thing, we won't get into that on here, and then the fact that she could go somewhere else, make just so much money, and be the woman, because she
and be
the star.
And she is, bro. Like, she kind of is, man. You know, I
see her going. I see her going to AEW and being Mercedes and still doing the independent stuff. Like she was doing the stuff with New Japan, which was great. The injury kind of like halted that. She could probably pop up in TNA like Mustafa Ali is doing right now with that Vote For Me gimmick that is awesome right now, where he's acting like a politician, telling everybody to watch him.
That's a great storyline. That's a great gimmick.
Yeah. But I think she's gonna just do AEW. Part of me wants her to do it one off, but she won't. I don't think she does. But you have well enough with this. I know Mo mentioned it earlier. Like that, the one great thing about only announcing 4 women is the fact that you can finally use the NXT roster now for the Rumble. You don't have to be carried by the legends. You can have 1 or 2 legends in it. For the Rumble, just for the lore, but give some of that NXT talent some shine in the Rumble.
They're gonna get some.
That's because a lot of the casuals don't watch NXT, so they don't know some of the superstars.
I watch a little bit of it. Crazy.
You know, so you can use the Rumble to kind of get people familiar with them. Like last year, they had Roxanne in it, and now people know her a little bit more because she popped up in there, and she was the champion at the time. You can do that. You can showcase some of them down there. Have a Fallon Henley show up. Have a Lyra Valkyria show up as the champion.
Valkyrie. I would like to see
have Blair Davenport show up in it. Have some more of them show up. JC Jane, you know.
I'll bet you Valkyrie shows up tonight. I'll bet you, Valkyrie.
That way they get that recognition, and because you can use that to get people to tune into the NXT product. With the commentators that are going to put them over, so that'd be great. And you can doing that on both shows, because that's going to only be beneficial to the product. We got my boy Tim King popping up. What's up, fellas? Hope you enjoy the show tonight.
Big Tim.
I hope so too. Tune into the Tim King show every week, and for Slapper Sports, it plugs in and talks wrestling. Every week, once a week, it does like a 2-hour show. Great show. This is my
another brother
guy. Yeah, we got so many channels that are connected to us. So check them out. Subscribe to his channel and enjoy all the wrestling content that he puts out. And he also puts out NFL stuff. He's a Chicago Bears fan, so check out some of the stuff that he puts out. Yeah, he lives in that part of the country, so definitely check him out.
Nice. What up, Big
Timmy? But you're back now. We were just talking about the fact that the less announced is better, and They should be utilizing the NXT roster more for this now and less of the legends. Just like you said earlier, we brought that up. I'm hoping that there's at least 4 or 5 or 6 women that get showcased there.
I think
any final words?
I think there'll be more NXT women than there'll be more than NXT men in the Rumble. I think there'll be 2, maybe 2-ish, 2, 3 men, but I think there could be.
I think there's going to be 5 men.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
5 men.
I really want to see Valkyrie. I like Valkyrie a lot.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite NXT talent right now. That the work that she's put in. I watched her a little bit in NXT UK before she came over. Once they shut that down, and she's done so much for her character over that time coming over here to improve, speak, promos, and the fact that they put her over on Becky means that they're very high on her.
Hey, D, I just thought of a video idea.
What?
So the video idea is, how many wrestlers did the NWA botch? I don't know why it just popped in my head, but the NWA had that, that they had LA Knight, of course, like Eli Drake, but they had wrestlers like Sky Blue, like young wrestlers like that they just
Sky Blue, Ricky Starks was in it.
Yeah,
they crazy. Had Thunder Rosa was in it. They had who else?
Yeah, I just saw the Sky Blue, and I was thinking, man, and like right now, her
Nick Aldis, who is the GM.
Yeah, true.
They made him look good, but then they screwed up by letting him go. They just let Camille go. I can't wait. If she pops up in the Rumble, I'm gonna go crazy. If she pops up in this Rumble, Camille, yeah, because she is a star. I'm saying it right now. She is a future star.
Yeah, you guys are now. You made me feel like a casual. Now I'm officially. No, I don't know any of those.
Chris, I know. You remember? No, yeah, you do. So you remember it's the picture of the white girl with the big old booty that I sent you. I said, "Hey, have you ever seen Sky Blue?"
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah,
but I don't know any of the others.
Yeah.
I think I know one
Camille,
guy.
Her character in NWA was she was the manager for Nick Aldis, and she would hold his title, and she was basically his muscle.
Oh, okay.
In NWA, kind of like on the Indies, Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, uses Steph DeLander in that same.
Everybody's looking for the next China. Everybody.
Yep.
Well, I think we smashed this match. So I think they're going to go with the obvious Bayley, just for a couple reasons. I think one, she hasn't won one yet. She's a Triple H girl. She's the vet there right now. I think they're going to go ahead and I forgot the cameras here. We're going to go ahead and put that on.
Well, let me go into douchebag mode and tell you who my pick is.
Let's go.
Bayley.
Nice. Couple Douche Bros podcast. What's up? Hey, D, hey, douchebag. Who you got?
I got Bayley.
Boom.
Oh, we all got Bayley. Oh shit. The trifecta. We all got Bayley.
Boy.
Yeah.
Nice. So
how about she's a hugger. She's a hugger.
She is.
She's gonna be a hugger again.
My kid, man, was when she was younger and the Bellas were still around and all that. And they were selling. She had every women's like $20 action figure. I bought all of them for her.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, she fucking loved Bayley.
Oh yeah.
Like her and Paige, she would mark out.
Yep. Next up on the docket, we got match number 2 coming in. They said we're gonna put you in the number 2 slot, Roman. That's right. We got the undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
Wait, what they tell Roman? Hold on. What they tell Roman again, Mo? What they tell him?
I don't even remember what I said, dog. I just
said we got you in the number 2 spot, Roman.
We got you in the number 2 spot, not the number 1. Yeah,
not the last. You're not going on last, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I don't care what table you're the head of.
You're the 2s. We got Roman Reigns coming in with champion with Paul Heyman, taking on the Viper Randy Orton, taking on all blacked out AJ Styles, and that's right, LA night. Yeah.
Yeah.
LA has won me over. Listen, LA has won me over. And let me tell you something, this past few years, I honestly believe Roman Reigns is what saved this company. He put a lightning bolt up this company's ass when he went heel, but I'm not feeling this babyface Viper. I don't like it. Okay, there's only one heel better than him, and you guys have seen my heel list. We all did it together. Okay, Edge is probably the greatest heel of all time, but after him, Randy Orton. And I'm not digging this
You don't
happy-go-lucky.
like smiling Randy?
Fuck no, I don't like it at all. I hope he turns tonight.
So you're gonna go against your favorite guy in Triple H and say that he's not the best heel?
I love Triple H, but you guys already know I had Triple H at like number 4 on heels. Edge has always been in my opinion, the greatest heel ever. Okay, but Randy's a close second. Like Randy's right there.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my buddy Matt on Smacking It Raw. They're gonna go live, I believe, tonight afterwards to do their spit and swallow from the week in wrestling, and I know that they're going to cover a lot of the Royal Rumble, so check them out.
Wait, what is their show? Spit and Swallow?
Yeah,
that's one of the greatest fucking things I've ever heard.
Here's the kicker: it's the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
That is crazy. Really? That's awesome. I love that. I love that name. Spit and Swallow. Yeah. That's legit. That is the shit. I like that. So all blacked out AJ, I'm cool with though, guys. I just wanted to.
It reminds me of the AJ in TNA because he did this for over a year. It's like an edgy side of him where he came out.
He's not full heel. He's not full. He's more anti-hero than anything. Yeah, he's not full heel. He's not full baby face. I like that.
They kept him out of the world title scene there for over a year, and then the payoff was him winning Bound for Glory series and then taking the belt from Bully Ray at Bound for Glory, their #1 pay-per-view there. But now he's come back and doing it, and it's like I feel like it's a little bit too soon with him. Like, why is he in this if he's just going to come back and do it? And they're kind of making him look weak, whereas Randy Orton comes back. It kind of has that storyline of that's how he got taken out for over a year and a half, and he wants to kind of systematically break down the bloodline. You got LA Knight, who's the white hot star. He's the guy most recently doing something with them, and like everybody's behind him. I don't think he's gonna win, but he's gonna put on the most oohs and ahs in the match.
Yeah, I think they all will. I think they're all. I think they're all going to get out tonight, all of them. But I think it's predictable, like Justin said. I think it's good. You can't strip Roman yet. You can't.
They wanted to do Roman versus Randy 1-on-1, but they don't want to like kill the momentum of Randy Orton. So that's why they throw these two guys in here.
LA Knight's definitely taking the pin.
I think AJ does.
Oh, you do?
Because here's what I think. I have this whole thing thought out. You got Roman Reigns. He's going to win the match.
Yeah.
Randy's going to be the one that challenges him to win the match. Solo Sikoa comes out and takes him out because I feel like you're going to have a Solo Sikoa versus Randy Orton at Mania. He's going to take out Randy Orton. You're going to have LA Knight and AJ Styles who are kind of like they're going at Roman Reigns, but they're fighting each other for the pin.
Too.
They're gonna fight each other for the pin because they're going to take him out, but it's going to be a challenge of who's going to get the pin, and then they're going to attack each other, and that's going to give Roman the chance to recover, hit one of them, more likely AJ Styles, and get the pin and survive. That's going to be what it is. Him surviving the match.
Let me ask you this, D. And Chris don't know nothing about this. I don't know nothing about this. Saw it on one of the videos today. They talk about a possibility of AJ's old friends coming back, Tama Tonga, and that him having another faction. He's done with the OC. Was it Old Bullet Club? Is that who it is? Come back?
Bullet Club. Because
Tama Tonga is also, he's part of the family, isn't he? Or he's not?
He's part of GOD right now, which is Guerrillas of Destiny. That's their group there. It's him, his two brothers, and it's El Phantasma right now. But he is a free agent as of right now. He has 2 more dates left with New Japan, but he wants to come back here, wrestle in the States, and be close to his family. He has kids, he said. He said he's been in Japan for so long. It was a tough thing to do, choice to make, but he wants to wrestle in the States now. So it could be closer to where he lives. There's a possibility I see he could
Gotcha.
pop up.
Hey, real quick, so I remember. Yeah, real quick, so I remember. D, you're better at. I think I have a good overlay out idea. Where'd it go? Right here. Me on one side of a render like this, and then you pick a wrestler, and we put on the other side. See how I put my face on Roman overlay,
Yeah.
then have you on the right side right here. Oh yeah,
It's
and then we
gotta
have
be
a nice little TV 14 up there too.
Yeah, it's got to be Dean Malenko.
Yeah, man of 1,000 syllables.
Yeah,
All right.
man.
Okay, go ahead. My bad.
But yeah, like the Fatal 4-Way is just to get people to think, how is he going to survive? How is he going to win? But in reality, it's like this makes it more easier to decide that he is going to win. He's going to survive. He's going to keep the title because of that. Because if it was a one-on-one, there's always that chance that Randy finishes his story of taking out the bloodline. But there's no chance that Roman loses. Just no chance. And I think the fact that this match isn't last makes it even more obvious, because there could be the thing where Rock could have came out, made himself known with the thing with him and Roman, and then cost him the title. But with him coming out with the second match and not the main event, no chance. If they do anything with the Rock, it's going to be later.
I think that's how it. Listen, that's how I think Mania ends.
How?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think The Rock, some sort of ring interference, and it costs Roman the belt, and that's how Cody gets the belt. But then no, they're gonna maybe not. They want to give Cody the belt clean, so I don't know. And we may not even get Cody and Roman now.
Let me throw this out there and see if this is just how my wild high brain works. All right, so with The Rock being on the board now, right? The Rock's on the board. There ain't a bigger boss than The Rock, right? So he's the clear head of the table. Is there a world where Triple H molds the storyline into, after all these years, Roman has been answering to somebody? There is a higher chief to say, and it's The Rock. And then The Rock joins the bloodline to where he's kind of like the big dude. And then Roman's like, the Roman has the boss's boss on his side now. And then we see more of corporate Rock. And
I was going to say corporate Rock. Yeah.
That's how we get Rock in Mania. And then that's how we get Cody versus Roman. And it means even more because The Rock is involved trying to help Roman win. And like The Rock's the new Vince to say. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, I would love that. I would love that.
Justin said the only person that shouldn't eat the pin is LA Knight. Having him being pinned twice by Roman isn't a good look for Knight when you're trying to keep him looking like a main event star.
Exactly. I think AJ eats the pin, guys. AJ has no problem putting somebody over. AJ has no problem following a good storyline, and AJ knows how the business works. And you can't have LA Knight looking like that. You just can't. You're trying to build him up. He's going to be another one of the main event guys.
My brain just goes to babyface heel mode. So it's like, AJ's starting to be a heel, Roman's a heel. So I just go but you are right to not make LA Knight look weak. He doesn't need to get pinned again. But then again, is he kind of like he's kind of untouchable right now? He can lose all he wants to, and the crowd's still going to go LA Knight.
Yeah, he's so over. Like he's so over, dude. Like him and Cody are probably the two most. Yeah, him and Cody are probably the two most over wrestlers right now. Like no joke, in my opinion. So
Christoph, Fatal 4-Way. Are you going?
Oh my God! Are you okay? There are ghosts in your house. I saw a hand come out of the wall and knock that picture out just now.
I wouldn't lie, dog. I'm glad I'm live doing that, because if I wouldn't, I'd be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
It was me. It was me.
It was me the whole time. It was me all along. What was your question before the poltergeist take you away?
Yeah, before the wrestling gods are about to exterminate me. But Fatal 4-Way, do you see it going how everybody else does? Roman wins. How does he win? Is there a world that Randy wins? And then take you back to the question before, does the IWC go buck wild if they let Randy Orton win?
In my world, first of all, you gotta have Roman retain. You gotta. Otherwise, Mania don't mean as much as it's supposed to. But my prediction is Randy becomes Randy again tonight, and he costs AJ or somebody like that. Randy turns heel, starts smacking motherfuckers with chairs or something. I don't know, but Randy goes heel tonight, and and Roman retains because Randy turns heel.
Yeah,
Randy aligns himself with
Randy. I don't like teasing Randy. Like,
Randy joins Randy joins the family.
No.
my boy Escalante or whatever dude's name was last night. Bet y'all didn't know El Quado was my boy. Like, I don't want to see happy, cool Randy.
Last week, like Roman was talking about, you guys didn't handle my business. Now I got to come in and do it. And once he walks away, it's just Jimmy and Solo. And Solo looks at Jimmy and goes, I'm going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
And the problem is Randy Orton. And that's why I think he's going to take out Randy Orton.
Yeah, true.
That's a great match because Randy can have a match with him at Mania. And Solo Sikoa can get over. Because you've already put him over on John Cena. If you can put him over now on Randy Orton, that's going to make Solo Sikoa huge.
Yeah, I have
two big pay-per-views in one-on-one matches where he wins clean.
I have a couple opinions about Solo. Before I do them, we'll pause real quick. We got 8 people watching this live. Brand new spanking channel, 1 week old, not even a week old. So we appreciate y'all taking the time to click our video to come rock with us. Y'all talk in the chat. We're interactive. We want to hear your opinions. If you could do us a huge favor, hit that like button. Help us get in that algorithm. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications. We're going to go live every single Tuesday night. No matter what, we're going live Tuesday nights to do our Wrestling Bros pod. Now, will we go live other times during the week? Sure, maybe. We'll definitely be putting all kinds of videos, shorts out throughout the week. Wrestling news drops. We're covering it. But definitely 100% Tuesday nights, probably around about 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be going live, shooting the breeze. We want y'all there, so come join us.
There's a little bit of geography for everybody. Proximity, okay? We got Arkansas in the house, we got Philly in the house, and we got St. Louis in the fucking house. So just so y'all know.
Also, this is about to blow people's mind. This doesn't happen too often. There's a Cowboy and an Eagle fan in the same stream. So that doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
Because I hate that I'm in Chiefs country. I used to be such a Chiefs fan. Now I just can't stand it. I look, I'm not rooting for the Taylor Swift team. I just can't do it.
But yeah, we'll get back on track. Like, I appreciate y'all. We're not trying to get you with that annoying promotion all the time, but we try to throw it out there, sprinkle it out there every now and then. But
any last words on this match? Because there's really not much.
I think it's going to go like y'all said. I'm going to go with what you said, D.
Maybe I could see that. I want the old Randy back. I don't like Happy Randy. I don't like it. It just doesn't work. I don't like it. You know, I don't like babyface Randy. I want him to turn heel.
What's up, Mason? Appreciate you for dropping in, bro.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
What's the next on the docket, D?
We got the United States Championship match between Logan Paul, the champion, versus Kevin Owens.
That's right. I'll go ahead and pop this one off. I think this is going to be a good match. I think that I'll start with saying that I did see that there's a rumor that Logan Paul is now full-time. Like, he wants to be or going to be full-time. Is that their way of trying to throw you off the scent of him dropping the title here? I do think Kevin Owens probably wins this match. This is why I think that. How many times have we seen the title on Raw or SmackDown? How many times have we seen him defend it? Let me tell you, none since he won it. So I think that they want to get the title out there. I think that they put it on him to try to get some exposure. Did it work? Yes, no. But I think if he's staying part-time, which I think he is, I don't think there's a world that Logan Paul is a full-time WWE superstar that travels everywhere that they travel. I think that they're going to put the belt on KO. He's a safe guy. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this. I think this will probably be about a 20-minute match. one big spot that they can put on social media for Logan Paul to get the clicks, and then I think they're going to go with it.
Recently he just re-signed with the WWE, so we did get that news a couple of days ago, and he put out the tweet, does this mean I should go full-time now? So there is talks about him doing it, but we got to remember, full-time for some of these guys is different from what our mindset of full-time is.
Yeah.
Is like show up everything. He could do like what a full-time schedule for him would be is show up a lot, but then have a lot of dates where he doesn't do it because, of course, he has other
7 Central, brother. 7 Central.
Yep. So, and I think, like, just going to be right off the bat, I think he retains here because you got the name face, you got the other realm, the entertainment side where he's going to draw in viewership. He has one of the number one podcasts on YouTube with Impulsive. He just interviewed the John Cena. Great watch there. He just did that. It was released a few days ago. He's going to bring those new fans into the WWE, the casuals, the ones that don't watch.
But you saying he resigned?
Just to see what he does.
Yeah.
But
you saying he resigned?
And I think Kevin Owens is one of the best workers in the business. He's one of the guys that is going to put on a great match.
Everybody look good. He makes look at that match with him and Stone Cold. He makes everybody look better than they really are.
And then I got to give Logan Paul props because he does great in the ring. He puts in the work.
I was just about to say that. Logan Paul has surprised me. He's good. He's taking it seriously. Just like he said,
he's
taking his craft seriously. Yeah, so I think he does retain. And I look, I'm not a Paul fan. I don't like either of those brothers. I really don't. Yeah. But Logan Paul has surprised me, man. He brings a whole nother dynamic into the fandom, and he's a workhorse. He takes the craft serious. You got to respect that because he's good. He's good.
With him resigning, okay, y'all talk me into it. I'm going Logan Paul. But if AO wins, y'all remember who fucking said it. All right.
Yep. You got Justin saying Logan Paul dropping the title in the first defense would be shocking as hell, but just don't see it happening. Only time we could see him dropping it is Mania, which I agree. I think there is a plan out there for that. Where I think it could be him versus LA Knight, and that's why LA Knight can't take the pin in that Fatal 4-Way.
Yo, that would be a huge match. That would bring in so many numbers, man.
Because you need to put a strap on LA Knight, and having a guy like Logan Paul working with him for 6-7 weeks in a program to build up to that will be very good for not only Logan Paul but LA Knight because. He's not. It looks like they're not going to put the world title on him anytime soon. So the next best thing is the mid-card title, which is the U.S. Championship. But this is going to be a great match. There's going to be a great, a big-time spot for Logan Paul to showcase his high-flying ability. You're going to have Kevin Owens. There's going to be a point in the match where you think Owens is going to win. Somebody's going to come in. Somebody has to come in and distract Owens or cost them the match. I don't know who it is. I just have a feeling it's going to happen, and it's going to be a thing.
Who could it be? It has to be somebody that makes sense. Is Sammy going to turn on him? No.
I was going to say Sammy, but Sammy's not going to turn on him. Not this soon.
They've done that so many times.
And it's been done to death.
Yeah. Let me throw something at Chris, because Chris follows this kind of stuff pretty closely. You know CoffeeZilla, right?
Yeah.
So do you see where he was exposing Logan Paul on that fraud and the lawyers and being sued and all that stuff?
Yeah, I saw the video he put out.
It's so crazy and it's pretty risky that Logan Paul in his promo was talking about suing Kevin Owens because he has that cast on his hand. But that's so crazy that they would do that, because if they was to type in, let's say some young kid or some young person, whatever, doesn't know anything about Logan Paul's bad past, and then they're like, oh, and then they Google it or whatever, and then it's going to pop up that he has all this bad stuff. I don't think that's very smart for them to use something bad like that that's in a bad light in real life.
Maybe if this other stuff wasn't going on, they would maybe do something risky like that, but I can't see them doing that. They're trying to
No, they did it. That's what I'm saying. In a promo, he had said something about suing Kevin Owens. But in real life, people are suing Logan Paul because he scammed them on a crypto stuff. So like,
have they mentioned that? Have they mentioned that in any kind of?
I know. Logan Paul has mentioned that like it's something that happened, and he felt bad for him because like it wasn't something like he did. It was something that he went into not knowing fully what happened, and then he got scammed as well. And he's part of it. He has to be part of it because he's the one that put his name into it.
Yeah, I really don't know if they.
But with
I
him
really
being
don't
a
know.
heel, I mean, it's like who
Yeah.
cares? Like,
Yeah, nobody cares. He's internationally hated anyway.
I think he wins. How they get there is kind of murky because I don't know how they're going to do it. Like,
I got
it has to be heel tactics.
I got it. Dean Malenko comes out. So yeah, I'll switch my thought process just because of pure fact. I didn't know if he had resigned yet, and he hadn't even defended the belt. But if y'all saying he resigned, then he plans.
Well, I can't see him dropping the belt first time out, bro. That's just me, you know. And whenever they want to put somebody over, heel or babyface, and they really want it to look good, they call guys like Kevin Owens. That's what he does, man. Like. Yeah. Come on, last year at Mania, did you guys really think Stone Cold was going to look that good? He looked great.
Oh, he did.
Why did he look great? I mean, he's still Stone Cold, but Kevin Owens did all the work, bro.
And then Royal Rumble's where you see the storyline start from Mania. So it's like Kevin Owens is going to lose. Somebody has to come out to attack him to start a storyline there for Kevin Owens. Because what is Kevin Owens going to do at Mania? Yeah.
Well, who's okay? Is Dom feuding with anybody right now?
He's more on Raw though, so it wouldn't be him. Like,
well, this is Royal Rumble. You could do anything to set up for Mania. Mania mixes the card up. I'm just saying. We haven't really seen Kevin or Sammy get into it with what are they called?
Does Logan Paul have
Judgment Day?
Judgment Day, yeah.
Friend? Does Logan Paul have a celebrity friend that could come out?
His brother.
Brother.
Like not. Well,
last year against Seth, he had KSI come out as dressed up as a Prime bottle.
Yeah, because I mean, they could do something like that. KO's safe enough to where that could be the celebrity match on Mania. You know, do something like that. I don't know, some kind of tag match. Logan Paul. I was going to say
this would be ticky tacky, but what's the chances we got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Logan and Jake Paul?
Yeah. That's why, that's
it maybe, but Logan, but can Jake wrestle? We don't know. You know what I mean?
But we've seen that.
I think we just cracked the code right there, bro. I think that's why I didn't want to move on yet. Like it was taking a little bit. I had to light it up a little bit. I had to think a little bit, but you just have to think like Triple H, like a booker, like, and it can't be outside of the shit that doesn't make sense.
It kind of makes sense in the fact that if you look at a few years ago in Tampa, when you had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, then that's how they kind of introduced Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Was that match at Mania where Sami Zayn was like, "I got my own personal friend Logan Paul." And
I feel pretty confident that we just figured out that match at Mania.
That'd be crazy if it was, because you always have to think you always have to think of how many matches, because there's 2 nights, and then they always have those celebrity matches.
Mm-hmm. And look, Jake's a good boxer. Look, if anything, these 2 boys, I don't care how much people hate them. I don't like them either, but they are athletes. So maybe Jake can wrestle.
You know, Jake Paul has to be looking back and looking at how much Logan's getting paid to do this and how much fun he's having and going, I can do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. You know. And for what it's worth, man, like I know these guys aren't liked and they've done some dumb shit, but Jake does love his brother. He'd probably do anything for his brother. You know what I mean? They are brothers. So yeah, maybe that big brother kicks in, man. You know what I mean? That big brother kicks in when your little brother asks you to do something, you usually do it. So I don't know. That thing's if that thing falls again, bro, move the fuck out.
It's fucking Picasso, dog. Like you gotta watch out, man.
Did you say Picasso?
I did, dog. It's a rare Van Gogh. You know?
Yeah.
Dude, I'll hit you with some nice words for an Arkansan. Go ahead, D.
And Any final words on this match?
Yeah, no, dog. I think we about nailed that to a T.
It'll be a good match, but it's
More.
the weakest match of the night, in my opinion.
Yes,
as far as
exactly.
fan,
That's why it's the third match, and it's like the lead up to.
It brings the crowd down. Yeah, you don't want to burn out the crowd's energy before the main event. So yeah, you bring the crowd down a little bit. You give them a kind of.
There's always a method with how they do. Like you have the women's because you have to have the men's and women's away from each other. You got to have that gap, and you could have had the championship as the main event and then just swap that with the Rumble. And it could have worked, but then it kind of takes away from the pointing to the sign and having that as the main event.
That too. Am I the only one that hates that?
That they point to.
I hate it when they point at. I do not.
I only ever liked it one time. One time. When Triple H came out, got in Undertaker's face, they didn't say a word to each other for about 2 minutes.
Of course, you would say Triple H.
That was who doesn't love Triple H, bro? Come on.
No, man. I'm just saying. Of course, you would say it though.
That was the best time when they both just looked at the sign, and that was it. We knew they didn't even have to say it. We just
the double return that we thought it was just one guy. Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah,
the great takes, guys. Great takes. We just cracked that code. On to the main event. What we kind of all came here for. The main card to see, the main event. We got the men's 2024 Royal Rumble match.
My favorite time of the year. This is my favorite.
So we're gonna let Christoph pop this one off so he can't rip off any of our answers.
Listen, this is my favorite time of the year. This is my favorite pay-per-view of the year. I got the Daytona 500 coming up. We got football playoffs. This is absolutely my favorite time of the year. And I'm telling you right now, R-Truth is going to win the Royal Rumble with help from Jimmy's. You'll see. R-Truth. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. It's a great race. And anyway, I got Cody Rhodes winning this. He's got to win because he's got to go to Mania. He's got to get that belt. We got to finish that story. I know it's predictable, but the American Nightmare, baby. That's all that needs to be said. And the Royal Rumble is always fun.
Let me ask you this before we say ours. Just so, okay, do you think that surely they don't do what they did last year? Let him come in at number 30. Where do you think he comes in? Is it a number one?
He'll be middle. They're not going to make him go coast to coast because
you don't think they're going to let him do that?
No way. Nobody's as good as Sean. Nobody.
I hate that. I'm starting to hate that now because they're starting to do that for every Rumble now. I feel like where at least one of them somebody goes from one to the end.
Sean's got his legacy. Kane's got his legacy. You know, they've all got their Rumble legacy. I don't think they should mess with it. And not just because I'm a Shawn Michaels guy, okay? You guys know I'm a Shawn Michaels guy, but because it doesn't need to be you're right, Cage. It doesn't need to keep being done over and over, man. You know, just let it.
I like the HBK one. I like the Rey Mysterio one because, of course, how small he is, Luchador. No one thought that he could do it, and then he did it. So,
I will say this much: Sean wasn't the only one that carried that match. Look, I know Sean's got, but he had the British Bulldog with him. Okay, they both carried it. They both all made it all the way, 1 and 2. You guys remember that? So give.
You know who else went 1 and 2? You know who else went 1 and 2 and went the whole Rumble, but then number 2 won?
Who?
Vince and Stone Cold.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. Yeah, the one that Vince won. The one that Vince won. Yeah.
We said a number 1. We said a number 2. Do I need to say the number 3? Who won in the number 3 slot? Woo!
Was it Rick? Yeah, Ric Flair. Yeah, Rick. So I don't know. I think Cody comes in.
And then Edge won. No, wait. Edge and Orton started it out, I believe it was, but it was like a lot of people said he was 1, but he technically came out number 2. There's a whole conspiracy. With,
are we getting 60-second or 90-second intervals this time? It's going to be 90s, right? Because that's the one thing about Shawn Michaels' win that coast to coast is. You guys remember?
I think it's always 60 seconds. I think the first 2 guys start out for
It used to be 90 seconds because Shawn the quickest Royal Rumble in history at 38 minutes. Was Shawn Michaels coast to coast, the guy, and they went 60 seconds.
That's because there wasn't that many competitors in it.
They were a lot of no names. Yeah, Wow,
Yeah.
stop it. You're taking Sean's shine away, man. I can't be part of this. I can't be
fucking
part of
need
taking
to.
away Sean's shine, man. Okay. GOAT. The GOAT. Bell to bell, the greatest of all
Yeah.
time, Shawn Michaels. But Cody Rhodes come in mid-card, 12. I'm going to say 12.
That's a good number.
Oh, that's nice. I think the question is, where does CM Punk come in? Because this is going to
Right after
be
Cody.
his first match.
Right after Cody. Right after
You want
Cody.
up
Because
in-
there's going to be,
I could
right
see
after
Punk
Cody. Yeah.
doing a 30 slot.
Yeah.
28.
Or I could see,
because
27.
That's
27.
he has to be towards the end, because I feel like last year we knew Cody was going to come in late, but it was because he was coming back from a torn pec. He didn't have that stamina, even though he went 20 minutes with just him and Gunther at the end, which baffled me, but it was a great showing. I loved every bit of the extra match within the Rumble with them two. But you got to give him a little bit of work in, and get him in 30. He's towards the end. He'll still be able to work, but not as much. It's the best way to hone Punk in there. Whereas Cody's been working all year. He's back. He's got the stamina. You can have Cody come in early.
So wait. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say CM Punk's out of shape?
Yeah, he's out of
Okay.
ring shape.
Okay. Just checking. You got
Hey,
ring
can I
rust
add
for me?
something right
Really?
there, D? Can I add something? Just so everybody knows, like, this is how I'm trying to do things now. When you see me over here writing, instead of like interrupting, what I'm trying to get better at is when a thought pops in my head, I write it down.
Yeah.
I write it down, and then I try to wait for boom, because my brain says I will forget some stuff. But watch the video before we came on, D, and it was a WWE video on the YouTube. It was Punk training at the NXT center,
Yes.
and he was training with whoop that trick. He was training with Carmelo. He was training with Brian
Lexus
Pillman.
King.
What's his name? Yeah, and then
Lexus King and Braun Breaker.
boom, yeah. So it didn't really trigger at first, but you think they're working together because those could be the 4 or 5 people from NXT on the dudes that are coming in?
That's why I said I thought there was going to be 5, because I'm like, they're not going to show him working with them, and they weren't in the Performance Center. And then, of course, when you saw last night on SmackDown, you saw Trick Williams come out to help Carmelo Hayes.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, you have him there. Man, there's so much that they could do where they could have Carmelo come out, but then they could have Trick come out, and something happened between them two, and how they get eliminated from the Rumble to program NXT and SmackDown. And then they could just showcase Braun, Lexus King, and whatnot for the match, just to get them noticed, since they've only been on NXT, and Braun Breaker is close to being called up. It's almost his time to be called up, and you want to get that name face to it. So, like, those are the 5 guys.
Braun Breaker, best spirit in the business for sure.
And then maybe a Baron Corbin pops up.
Yep,
Good old Baron Corbin. He's remade himself on NXT. I love him on NXT right now. I love what he's doing with Braun Breaker with that tag team, and then
Chris,
just
do you
making
know
fun
who
of each
Braun
other.
Breaker is?
Yeah.
Do you know whose son he is?
No.
Rick Steiner.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The dog face gremlin.
He's like a combination of, like, he's
Him and
Rick
Scott.
Steiner's like son, but then he acts like Scott.
I wish he would be Braun Steiner, is what I wish. Be Braun Steiner, please.
Yeah.
That would be, because you're right. He looks and wrestles like Scott, but he kind of favors Rick and is Rick's son. So
Yeah, they did the same thing with him that they just did with Brian Pillman Jr., and they changed his name. You got Braun Breaker, you got Lexus King, which Lexus King is a combination of Brian Pillman's, I think, aunt and his niece's and names, like first name and last name, something like that.
yeah. So we got Big JT 211 says, as long as we don't get any bad news that Rollins can't make Mania, then definitely we see CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble. So him and Rollins can finally get a Mania main event. Yeah, no, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'll jump on right here. I'm kind of in the same boat as far as pre-Rollins injury. But it's just with him having an injury before that wasn't as bad as this one, with this one being worse. I see somehow along the way them stripping his title or him not wrestling until Mania, and I think Gunther's going to win. And I said I thought Gunther was going to win. D can, he can say this because when I said it, nobody was saying it. And then all of a sudden now these videos, people are saying Gunther's going to win. But I'm the one that came up with the crazy, and not to say that they saw this and took it. We were nobody. Like, we had no views, nothing. But I could kind of see this coming with the promo they had on Raw. It just kind of seems Gunther's a character that you don't waste. So if he comes out and he says things, he kind of has to hold it accountable, or people will not think he's as badass as he comes off. So I think that it's going to be Gunther and Seth at Mania, whether it's Seth doesn't give up the title and he goes to like Mania as the champion. Gunther, they build it along the way. Seth doesn't wrestle, but he can come in on crutches. He can talk. And then they get that match at Mania, or they strip him of the title. They build until Elimination Chamber, a little bit to see if Rollins can come back or not. And then if they can't come back, they put Gunther with somebody else. But somehow Gunther's going to end up being the champion at WrestleMania night 1. That's how I see it going. Where you going, D?
It's crazy because they've had, like, this week, a lot of the people that are interviewing Gunther are asking him about being the IC champion, going for the world title. And the one question is, would you defend both titles if you had them? Or what would you do if you won the world title? Would you vacate the IC title? And he said that he's not there yet, because he hasn't won it, so he's not going to think about it yet. But he would defend both if they gave him the shot to. And this is the guy. He has yet to lose on the main roster. He's only lost twice since debuting in WWE, and that was on NXT UK, where he lost to Ivan Dragunov, and then I was on NXT in his last match where he lost to Braun Breaker. Those are the only 2 matches that he's lost in the last 4 years.
I'll tell you this too.
WWE.
Yeah, I'll tell you this too, boys. This is another reason. This adds to why I think this is I think the only shot of Gunther, because unless you're a big crowd jumping over Gunther, he's not a big dude, so that wouldn't make a lot of sense in the wrestling world. Whoever takes out Gunther's going to have to fight him at Mania, more than likely, because he's such a big character. So I think the only way that happened was Brock. I thought that maybe he eliminates Brock. Somehow Brock gets back in. They do some crazy shit with Brock, but Brock's gone. Brock.
Yeah. And he tried to, they had that built in a few weeks ago when he talked about Brock.
Guys, I got to take this phone call. It's my daughter. I am going to leave the show. I had a blast. I will be checking up with you guys during the Rumble. All right. All right.
Hey, you're definitely one of the wrestling bros.
I'm happy to be there. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be one of the bros.
Yeah,
all right. Next time I come in, you guys be good. I'm out.
Appreciate you, brother.
Peace. So just backing off of what you were just saying with him, as they just said, he made the assumption that that's the one guy he wants to wrestle to get his name out is Brock at Mania, and they had put the little teasers out there in the coming weeks. But then everything, like we said before, we're not going to talk about the whole Vince thing. Brock's part of that. So whatever happened, I think he got scratched from it, from the Rumble now. So there's a lot of things that are happening that are rechanging and reprogramming. I think everything happened in the last few weeks is to give them secondary options, to give them storylines, so that to make you guessing. So that even though we have our thoughts, and there's like say CM Punk and Cody are the 2 guys that are boom, that we are for sure could be the final 2 or be the winners. They're throwing so many curveballs at us to make us rethink ourselves. Like, you throw Gunther into this, boom. Yeah, you put him in the thing with Seth last week. Is he going to be there? Does that mean he has a chance? Because that heightened his odds, the betting wise. Now he's one of the favorites to win now. But then you plug in CM Punk and Cody having that one-on-one interaction together. It's like, okay, why are they doing this? Is there a possibility that they have a match together and Gunther wins, and then it makes them have to fight each other now because you got the impending possible Rock return? They're throwing so much to there. I would like to see Gunther win because he's one of my favorite. And you can build him up as the top heel now, especially if Roman leaves when he drops the title. It's just a matter of will they do it, and I don't think they will. I think with Cody, I don't think he wins because I think Cody has that built-in the story to where he's going to fight adversity to get to the main event of Mania. You still have Elimination Chamber where more than likely they do a number one contenders match where the winner Cody goes into there because I think he comes in second possibly at the Rumble, and he has to use this as his last ditch effort to make the main event at Mania, and he gets it, and then he gets put into the match, say with Roman Reigns, and the whole Rock thing makes it even more confused with that.
Well, what about the Cody Punk? You know what I mean? Like, that's a big thing, bro. Like, you think you're just gonna like go, oh, we don't want that money. You know what I mean?
And then I look at this year, and then I look at this year and last year. Cody came out at 30 last year, making his return. It was his first match. He wins and does Mania. This is Punk's first match. Royal Rumble. He could come in late. What's everybody saying? That he's going to main event Mania one of the nights with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like paralleling to last year's, but with a different guy. And they're not going to redo it with Cody because it's just going to be the same story, pun intended, that he wins the Rumble and then he challenges Roman. You want a different outcome. You wanted to do the chamber and then go to and get it somehow. Yeah. But there's a possibility, like you said. What if Punk wins? He wins the Rumble. Seth comes out and relinquishes the title, and kind of like what they did with Asuka and Becky. Well, Becky was pregnant. Asuka had the money in the bank, and she goes boom. And Triple H comes out and says, "You won the Rumble, and you chose Seth, but Seth can't compete. Here's the title." Yeah. Yeah. Even though Damian Priest has the briefcase, which even throws it even more of a conundrum into it, because I don't even know when he's going to cash in, if he's going to be successful, because more than likely he's going to cash in on that title. So it's like there's so many things, which is a great thing. There's so many outcomes and keep people thinking.
You know what I just think it's Punk. This is what I honestly think. This is taking the fandom out of it and just looking and going, okay, this is happening. This is happening. This is what I think. All right. You like Hogan because of your childhood, and I like Hogan because of my childhood. But there are tons of people that hate Hulk Hogan now. And they, for some reason, and they might have changed this, but they were trying to act like when they named the top WWE champions of all time, like the length one time, and he left Bob Backlund out at number 2. The list goes Bruno, Bob Backlund, Hulk Hogan is the top 3 of all time. So they're going to act like Bob Backlund doesn't exist, and then they want Roman in that number 2 slot. There'll never be a number 1 because it's like 8,000 days or something like that. So they want Roman at number 2 slot. So as crazy as it sounds, it's really not that far away. Like, how far away is Survivor Series? It's like, I think they got to make it till September. Whatever is in September is when Roman breaks it, right? So in theory, you want the person that takes that title, you want it to skyrocket them, right? The only person in WWE right now that would be worth skyrocketing is Cody, because he can do the press. The kids will love him. Yeah. He can go on all the.
I would say the viewership is up because Punk is back, and he has that behind him. Yeah, so that's why he's up there.
Yeah. So I think that the reason I think Cody is not fighting Roman at Mania is because I think they want Cody to beat Roman. And I don't think Roman's losing that Mania. That's why I think Rock and Roman is going to happen, because Rock and nobody's going to give a shit. And then they're going to keep building. They're going to keep doing their thing. And then whatever, like a day, maybe the Raw after, something like that, after he breaks Hogan's record, that's when they'll have Cody finally get the win, because the story's not win the title at Mania. The story is win the title that Roman has.
Yeah,
Not
and
even
it's always
beat Roman. The stories get the title that Roman has.
and the money is in the chase. It's not him having the belt. It's
exactly.
the chase.
So that's why I think we're gonna have Cody and Punk at Mania. No, yeah, because that's not gonna they don't need a title. And or even if there is, it's like Punk can win the title somehow at Elimination Chamber or some crazy shit if Seth.
So here's the question. I know you're on the Gunther train. What happens if Gunther wins and then Seth has to drop the title?
I think that they're gonna give it to Gunther, or no. I think they'll do the Elimination Chamber. See, dude, that's tricky because they're not doing Gunther versus Roman. They're doing Gunther's getting the title that Seth has.
Yes.
So you would like to think if Seth has to vacate,
I think it'd be too much. I think it'd be too much if say they did Gunther versus Punk versus Cody, because I think the whole thing, a lot of this hinges on if Rock comes back.
Yeah, I think he is. I think
because I think he is. It's just they haven't done the deal yet. They said it's not a matter of how, it's when, and they're going to do it.
So many what ifs going into Mania.
Yes, and that's like that's what they want. That's what they want to do. They want us to keep watching.
But do you see what I'm saying about you? Do you see my theory about Cody? Like why Cody's not going to win the Rumble and not win the title at Mania because they want him to take it off Roman, but they want
the only thing is Hulk. How much longer can they milk out the story?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that fighting adversity.
He's
been doing it for 2 years.
If they can put him with Punk, people kind of forget the story right now.
Yeah,
they're just enthralled with the Punk shit. And kind of Punk can kind of come in with the story because Punk's bringing.
And do you have to capitalize on Punk now before a little bit of the allure wears off? Because he always comes into the company hot, everybody's views, but then if he doesn't get what he's promised, then he starts to act up a little bit. And I'm sure that he was promised when he signed a title match. I'm pretty sure because you wouldn't put him this high on the list.
Think about
this early if that it wasn't something that was there. And then Justin just said after all that conspired at last year's Mania, it feels like it now added him finishing the story by beating Roman at the same place he lost, WrestleMania. Yeah, it has to be Mania with them. You can't kill him and do it at SummerSlam because that would just be kind of weak. We're still going to do it, but
okay. So what do you think about
number
this?
2 a lot of it's the Mecca.
So think about this. So that word threw me off. So think about this. They haven't really set anything up outside of Seth and Cody for Punk. You know what I mean? You haven't seen him talk about anybody else. You haven't seen him bring up anybody. You've seen him bring up Roman that one time, but we know that ain't going to happen right now. So that also goes with my theory is because they're working towards things. All these little things are going separate, but they're all going towards the same place. So it's trying to figure it out, But I'm sticking with Gunther. I think Gunther's going to win. I think that somehow he's going to get. I think Seth's probably going to. I think Seth's going to tough it out, keep the belt, and then Gunther Seth.
Looking at the odds, CM Punk is plus 100. Gunther is plus 188. Cody is plus 450. The Rock is plus 1,000. Drew McIntyre plus 2,000. Jey Uso 2,500. LA Knight 2,500. Randy Orton 2,500. Sami Zayn 2,500. Seth Rollins 2,800. Same thing with Solo. Dominic Mysterio 3,300. And then you got a few others there.
He said something really smart. I forgot about Punk and Drew's interaction. They could go Punk Drew at Mania if they need.
They could. They could because they need something to keep him there because he hasn't signed yet. Yeah, nothing is signed. His deal's up a little bit afterwards. And look, there was also the interaction Punk had with Drew, just like you just said. I thank you, Justin, for that. And it's you really don't have that much for Drew McIntyre right now. I think one thing is we're talking about Iron Mans. I think Jey Uso is the Iron Man of the Men's Rumble. They need to build him up. They've talked about him, he's been lately talking about I going for like an individual title. I know he's facing Bronson Reed on Raw because of that notion, and then you got Gunther defend the IC title on Monday against Kofi Kingston. Do they pull it off of him there? Do they make that happen? Do they?
It's like convenience, right? It's like, they were thinking like before, like, well, we didn't plan this, but Kofi is Kofi. So yeah. I don't know, man. I haven't been this excited about wrestling in a while, so it's probably partially because we have the channel, which if anybody's made it this far, which we got a couple people watching us now, so we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Or if it's just the combination of just great wrestling right now. With us, I know we have Rumble week. I don't want people to think that we're not going to be covering other things. We will be covering AEW. D-Beck knows a lot about New Japan, stuff like that. So we'll definitely be covering other things.
A little bit of TNA. We're going to cover a little bit of that.
Yeah, TNA. So we'll definitely be topics too.
And I know we haven't really mentioned every competitor in the Rumbles and whatnot. I want to save a little bit of that because we're going to do a post show tonight right after Royal Rumble, so we can talk about the two matches and talk about the aftermath of the men's and women's Royal Rumble. So I want to keep a little bit fresh. And if anything happens, I want to be able to not have spilled too many beans now and talked about too much. And
we're going to set the stream. Go ahead.
Sucks how much they dropped the ball on Gable and didn't keep him on track to face him Gunther again. I agree with it. That would have been 100%. So much fun. And now they're doing this thing where it's like Alpha Academy with the Creed brothers, which is pretty cool because they're the same thing, and it can have like a stable there, but they still killed Chad Gable's like his momentum. Everybody was behind him. He's that mid-card guy that makes it believable. But I guess they have other plans with him. But we're definitely going to be going live right afterwards. Whether it's like a couple minutes after, we might wait 20 minutes to get like you a little bit of the outcome soaked into everybody's brain, and then we'll boom pop up. And
that's right. Yeah, we're gonna have the stream already set.
Yeah.
But also what me and D-Back are going to be doing during the Rumble, we're not going to be live during the Rumble, but we're going to be making shorts during it. So after each match, we're going to be putting some shorts together real quick, maybe even some pre-recorded videos. I don't know. I might jump on here and make a pre-recorded video on something if something sparks me. But we're trying to hit every avenue of this YouTube thing. We're trying to hit the live. That's one of the things we're doing, especially for the podcast on Tuesday nights. Then any type of pre-show or recap, we're going to try to do those live so we can all interact together. Then we're going to be hitting the news, and we're going to hit those like a lot of pre-recorded videos, trying to pump those out to you. Then we're hitting the shorts too. We're hitting that side too, to where if you're on your phone,
and then we're gonna have guests on here and there. We're gonna try and get some of our crew here. Like we got Tim Kim coming on in the future. I want to try and get on Ivan from Circuit Debate on. And we just had Chris on, one of the bros. So we're going to do that just to add a little bit more. And you're going to see us pop up on other people's podcasts as well, like we used to. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody that commented and was active today. Justin, big thanks to you. I can always count on Justin to be in the chat. Shout out to Ivan from Circle Debate. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Yuri Mason. Shout out to him. And just keep an eye out on all the content that we put out. But we'll be back later tonight, right after, with the Wrestling Bros podcast, Royal Rumble 2024 post-show breakdown.
That's right. That's right. And I know y'all probably watch a lot of different wrestling content that's been around for a long time, and you hear them say, yo, help us out, subscribe, and you look at their numbers and you're like, they don't need my one number. Like we need your one number. So don't take it lightly when we say help a brother out and subscribe. Whether you're a guy or a girl, we're inclusive here. We don't care. We just love wrestling. So help your boys out. We're going to set the live stream shortly after we get off here, to where if anything crazy happens, y'all can go comment in the stream. Me and D will see it. We'll comment. That's a way that we can kind of talk during the Rumble. And we'll be live after the Rumble. So anything, D, tell them where they can find us on Twitter.
Yeah, you can find us first off. If you check out the comment section up at the top, you can follow us on YouTube. Click the link down in the pinned post and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find us on Twitter, and the Twitter handle is at Wrestling Bros Pod, but without the E and wrestling. So it's at WRSTLING Bros Pod. So you can find us right there on Twitter.
That's a place you can go see when we go live and interact, talk just wrestling when we're not able to talk. So we might also make a Discord or something. I don't know. We just want to build a little community of rejects, you know what I'm saying, of Sandlot dudes like us and girls that just love wrestling, love to get into it. Don't care if people call us nerds or whatever. We just roll and we wear our wrestling shirts loud and proud. For D-Bake, I'm your boy Mo. This has been the Wrestling Bros Podcast. Until tonight, peace.